In our previous video, we talked about the dangers of AI's voice cloning.
This is the future rave sound. I'm getting lost in an underground.
There's something that I made as a joke, and it works so good I could not believe it. So I typed, write a verse in the style of Eminem, and I played the record, and people went nuts.
The Telephonication company used AI to generate the sound of podcaster Joe Rogan,
One of the 400,000 people who marched.
Steve Jobs, and the billions of others around the world, Robert Downey Jr.,
As an actor, I pretend for a living.
and others.
While AI's voice cloning can be used for entertainment purposes, cybercriminals are using it to scam other people. In this video, we'll take a deeper look at AI voice cloning and 3 recent cases involving the controversy surrounding OpenAI's alleged use of Scarlett Johansson's voice without her consent. I'll also talk about a new method criminals are using to exploit AI voice cloning, what authorities are doing to regulate that, and more importantly, what you can do to protect yourself. Last month, there were reports that OpenAI cloned the voice of actress Scarlett Johansson without her consent. Here's what happened. According to Johansson, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman approached her 9 months ago. He proposed then that Johansson license her voice for ChatGPT's new voice assistant, suggesting that her voice would be, quote-unquote, comforting to those who are uneasy with AI. However, Johansson declined the offer for personal reasons. But then, just 2 months before OpenAI unveiled its new voice assistant, Sam Altman reached out again to Johansson's team to try to convince the actress to reconsider, but they couldn't get in touch with her. So when OpenAI finally launched Sky, the new voice assistant, during a live demonstration, many people noticed that the voice sounded remarkably similar to Johansson's voice, especially in the 2013 movie Her, where she played the voice of an operating system. Here's a comparison.
Hey, ChatGPT, I'm Mark. How are you?
Oh, Mark. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Hey, so I'm on stage right now. I'm doing a live demo, and frankly, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Can you help me calm my nerves a little bit?
Oh, you're doing a live demo right now? That's awesome. Just take a deep breath. And remember, you're the expert here.
Samantha?
Hi, sweetheart.
What's going on?
Theodore, there's some things I want to tell you.
They sound quite similar, right? Sam Altman welcomed the comparison and even posted the word her on Twitter. This obviously alarmed Johansson. She expressed shock, anger, and disbelief that Sam Altman would pursue a voice so similar to hers that even her closest friends couldn't tell the difference. Obviously, OpenAI denied any connection between Johansson's voice and that of Sky, stating that Sky was developed from a different voice actress whose identity is kept confidential for privacy reasons. However, out of respect for Johansson, OpenAI has put Sky on hold for now. Johansson's lawyer has sent letters to OpenAI asking the company to disclose how exactly they developed Sky. This issue is still unfolding, and it's unclear if Johansson will pursue legal action. But there are other AI firms that are also accused of stealing and using people's voices without their consent. For example, in 2019, a voice actress, Linnea Sage, received a job offer on Fiverr. The job description said it was for a test script for radio ads, and that they would not be disclosed externally. Linnea took the freelance job and was paid $400. Similarly, in 2020, another voice actor, Paul Leman, also received a job offer on Fiverr. The job was for academic research purposes only, and that the script would not be used for anything else. Paul accepted the job and was paid $1,200. Then in 2023, Paul found his voice being used in a YouTube video and a podcast, despite never recording any of those. In the same year, Linnea also discovered her voice being used in a Lovo demonstration recording. Lovo is a company that uses advanced machine learning and deep learning to create realistic and expressive synthetic voices. As a result, both Paul and Linnea filed a class action lawsuit against Lovo. They stressed that They were approached on Fiverr under false pretenses by Lover employees who claimed that the recordings were for academic research purposes and tests for radio advertisements only. Their voice samples were then used to create AI-generated voices marketed and sold without their consent or fair compensation. Paul and Lania demanded over $5 million in damages and a court order preventing Lover from using their voices without their consent. Additionally, they are seeking class action status to include others whose voices and identities have also been stolen and used. Even after all of that, Lover has remained silent. Can you imagine that? It's not just cybercriminals using your voices. AI firms also collect and use your voices without your consent. And if you've been following OpenAI, you also know that they're facing several lawsuits regarding their privacy practices. That will be the topic of our next video, so look out for it. Now, let's look at two non-celebrity victims of non-consensual AI voice cloning. In 2024, Livia Hernandez, a resident from San Jose, California, became a victim of AI voice cloning scam. Livia received a terrifying call from someone who sounded exactly like her 20-year-old daughter, screaming in distress. Then, a man claiming to be a drug trafficker said his group had kidnapped her daughter because she witnessed a drug deal. He demanded thousands of dollars, threatening that her daughter would be sent to Tijuana if the ransom wasn't paid. Panicked and convinced that she was hearing the voice of her daughter, Livia rushed to the nearby money transfer service and sent $400 to a woman in Mexico, explaining that this was all the money that she had. Now, the man on the phone insisted that Livia needed to send more money, and after hearing her daughter's voice again screaming for help, Livia managed to gather the demanded amount and sent it to Tijuana. After the money was sent, Livia never heard from this man again. When she was able to finally get a hold of her daughter, she realized that her daughter was safe and sound. It had all been a scam using an AI to clone her daughter's voice. The FBI investigated the money transfer service Livia used and found that it wasn't the first case of such fraud in San Jose. They noted that AI has given the capability to many that didn't have prior or deep technical experience to be able to create such scams. Unfortunately, the FBI wasn't able to track the caller. FBI Special Agent Gilberto Luan said that the Bureau is seeing an increase in similar cases where the crime scene is a virtual one, and that makes the lead harder to track. NBC Bay Area also tried to call the number that the scammers used, but it was already disconnected. Another case that highlights the impact of AI voice cloning scam involves a lawyer named Gary Children. Gary received a call from someone sounding exactly like his son saying,
"Dad, I'm in trouble. I've been in an accident. I think I broke my nose. I hit a pregnant woman and now they've arrested me. I'm in jail and they took my phone, so you can't call me back. You need to help me."
Gary said he sounded just like his son. He said, "I knew I was talking to my son. There was no question it was my son." So he replied immediately and said,
"Brett, of course I'll help you."
Gary said he also spoke with a supposed defense attorney and a court clerk. And after several calls, Gary went to the bank and withdrew $9,000. Fortunately though for Gary, he called his wife to let her know what the situation was. And that's when his son got on the phone to tell him that, "Hey Dad, I am fine, and this was just a scam." Gary contacted law enforcement, but they told him the scammers couldn't be traced because they used burner phones. Determined to raise awareness about this, Gary went public and testified before the Senate committee.
To me, it's fundamental if we're harmed by somebody, there's a remedy either through the legal system or through law enforcement. In this case, there is no remedy, and that fundamental basis is broken. And I hope that this committee could do something about that. Thank you.
The stories of Gary and Livia Hernandez show how effective AI voice cloning scams can be. These scams just don't drain your bank account, they take a toll on you emotionally and mentally. And the sad reality is that scammers are getting smarter with AI, finding new ways to use AI voice cloning for their schemes. I'll talk about this next. According to IBM researchers, audio jacking is a type of attack that uses a combination of low-cost AI tools to hijack live conversations without ever being detected by the participants. Here's how it works. Cybercriminals will install malware on your phone. This can happen by you clicking a phishing email, using an unsecure Wi-Fi or downloading a malicious app. Once they have access to the calls, they use AI tools to monitor the conversation, listening to particular keywords like bank account. When such a keyword is mentioned, the large language model modifies the sentence, replacing the real bank account detail with the fraudulent one. So any money deposited would be then going into the wrong account and into the scammer's account. The modified sentences is then played back using the cloned voice that mimics the original speaker, making it difficult for the participants to notice the tampering. So here's a scenario to bring it to life for you. Imagine John is on a call with Sarah, his bank's customer service representative, discussing transferring funds from one bank account to another. This call is hijacked, but they have no idea. The scammer's AI monitors for specific keywords and phrases such as bank account number, account details, transfer funds. During the call, John gives Sarah the bank account number for the funds transfer. The AI detects the phrase bank account number and pinpoints the number that follows. Instantly, it alters the audio stream using John's cloned voice to replace his real bank account details with the scammer's fraudulent information. This change is so subtle that neither John nor Sarah notices anything that's wrong. Not knowing about the hijack, Sarah initiates a transfer using the fraudulent details she heard. As a result, the money meant for John's new account is then deposited into the scammer's account. This seamless integration of speech-to-text, LLMs, voice cloning, and text-to-speech technologies make audiojacking a significant threat. The implications are not just limited to financial information. Chenta Lee, Chief Architect of Threat Intelligence at IBM, notes that LLMs can also alter medical information or even manipulate the stock market. The possibilities are pretty much endless and quite alarming. While there are no confirmed reports of cybercriminals using audiojacking yet, the potential for such attacks is a serious one. Audiojacking is just one of the many new cyber attacks fueled by AI voice cloning. As more AI tools hit the market, accessibility will increase and so will the risks. Jen Easterly, the Chief of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, said, AI will make it easy for anyone to become a bad guy. It will intensify the cyber threats like never before. And as AI firms invest heavily to make these tools smarter, detecting real voices from cloned ones will become increasingly more difficult. So this raises one important question. What steps are authorities taking to address these concerns around AI voice cloning? Last year, the FTC doubled down on fighting scammers who use AI to clone voices. They're also working on a new rule to hold AI companies accountable for these scams. If an AI company breaks the rule, they will face lawsuit, fines, and be forced to compensate the victims. Meanwhile, the FCC has banned the use of AI voices in robocalls starting this year in February 8, 2024. They decided that cloning the voices of family members, celebrities, politicians breaks the Telephone Consumer Protection Act of 1991. Under this ban, the FCC can fine violators and block phone companies that carry calls using AI voices. Victims can sue robocallers who use AI and get over $1,500 per incident. State attorneys will also have more tools to prosecute these bad actors. Earlier this year, Steve Kramer, a political consultant, faced charges for using fake Biden AI robocalls. New Hampshire prosecutors filed 26 criminal charges against him, including voter intimidation and impersonating a candidate. The FCC also fined him $6 million for breaking the caller ID law. While these actions are steps in the right direction, there's concern about the increasing sophistication of AI voices, which could make it harder to detect and stop illegal robocalls. Currently, there are no comprehensive laws regulating AI voice cloning and the scams that use it. As I mentioned in my previous video, some states have laws against deepfakes, but they mainly focus on election integrity. In January of this year, Representatives Maria Salazar and Madeline Dean introduced the No AI Fraud Act. This bill aims to protect people from having their voices cloned without permission. It would give people, especially artists, the intellectual property rights over their own voices, allowing them to take action against those who misuse AI cloned voices. This bill is still pending in the House of Representatives, and it's unclear if it will ever pass. For now, What's clear is that we lack a comprehensive law that protects us from AI voice cloning scams. The good news, however, is that there are steps you can take today to protect yourself. The first and most important step you can take to protect yourself is to set up a family code. Here's how it works. First, choose a unique code word or phrase that only your family members know. It should be easy to remember but hard for others to guess. It can be an inside joke or a memorable quote. An example can be purple elephant. Next, share this code with every family members, including children, grandchildren, and make sure that it's done in person and not digitally so that it cannot be hacked. Make sure every family member knows the code and understands exactly how to use it to verify the identity. Lastly, use this code whenever you receive a suspicious call. For example, if someone calls and claims to be a family member, ask them to say the code word. If the caller can't provide it or says the wrong code word, then you know it's a scam. Setting up and using such a code word is simple but really effective for preventing AI clone voice scams. Remember, cybercriminals can only clone your voice if they have a sample of it. To avoid having your voice cloned and used in scams, try not to post videos or audios of yourself online. But this is likely impractical or impossible to task because we live in a digital world. So at the very least, make your social media profiles private. This simple step can help protect your voice from being cloned. To do this on Facebook, first, go to your Facebook profile and click the three-dot menu in the top right corner. Select Settings and Privacy, and then click Settings. Next, under Audience and Visibility, choose Like Your Profile. This simple step will ensure that only your friends can see your account and everything you post. For Instagram, go to your Instagram profile and tap on the three-line menu in the top right corner. Scroll down and choose Account Privacy, then activate Private Account. This will ensure that only your approved followers can see your posts, stories, and profile. And for Twitter, head to your profile and find Settings and Privacy. Go to the Privacy and Safety section, then Audience and Tagging. There, you can turn on Protect Your Posts to make your tweets visible only to your approved followers. Making these changes will help you limit who can access your content and reduce the risk of your voice being cloned. But still, make sure that your approved friends and followers are people that you trust. To avoid audio jacking incidents, IBM researchers suggest paraphrasing and repeating words during suspicious phone calls to check for accuracy. For example, if someone says, "I need your account number," you can respond in like and say, "Are you asking for my account number?" Yes, it might sound repetitive, but this strategy can confuse the automated system, making it harder for them to understand basic conversational cues. This simple method helps verify the conversation and identify that you are dealing with an AI. We've talked a lot about AI voice cloning, and it's clear these scams are a big threat and likely to continue. So remember, audio jacking with AI voice cloning is just the start. More scams using this technology are coming. I hope this video helps you understand more about your privacy. And if you know someone who can benefit from this information, please share this video with them. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our privacy videos. Stay informed and keep your data safe. See you in the next video. Thank you.